Hello everyone! Awesome to have you here on the first episode of 3 Candid Questions. I'm so excited because today I'm going to interview the first person. And it really has been a dream of mine to interview people from all walks of life, people who have accomplished one thing. They have really taken their life into their own hands and have marched on, let me put it that way, despite all the ups and downs that they have encountered. So it's really for you to be inspired and to see that it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be a polished version of a success story when we become leaders of our own life. No, it's really about taking action and being in action. And even when it's really scary, we still stay in action. And sometimes we might have days where we are in non-action, and that's fine as well, to respect that we also need times where we re-energize, where we process everything that has happened. So this first person I'm going to interview today is Antony. He's a fellow coach, and he has been a coach for 15 years, and it has been a long journey for him. He had this dream for a long time, and the first time I met Antony was when he had the courage, and I was really impressed by that, to put his hand up in a room full of people. I think we were about 60, I don't know, around 60 people there. He put his hand up and said, "I'm uncomfortable." And he was not afraid to show his discomfort in a very raw and unpolished way, and to be really himself and to say like, okay, I don't care about everything you are telling me. I just feel very uncomfortable and this is not working for me right now. And I was impressed by that because many of us are afraid to show this vulnerability and to be so authentic also in our discomfort. And then when I started talking to him more, I realized that, he has taken a lot and never faltered, just moved on step by step towards his dream. And it was very, very tough for many years. And still he never gave up. And that is really something impressive. And it shows in so many ways. Like, he has a amazing humor and he takes everything with that humor. And I guess that is just to show you as well that no matter how painful our journey sometimes feels, there are also those moments where we can still laugh and where, we realize things are never that serious. And that will help us to carry on. It doesn't mean that we don't take our dreams seriously or our challenges or whatever. No, it just means that we realize that it's something. When it's taken with a bit of lightness, the pain becomes easier to bear sometimes on days when it's very painful. So be warned, it might be a very silly interview to some extent. So just have fun when you're watching it and listen out for those golden nuggets that Antony is going to share with us.
Recording in progress. We're live.
We're live. Oh my God.
We got to behave now. Where are my notes? I had notes for answers. You have to ask the questions in the same order that you told me that were coming, or else I'm going to screw it up.
Well, I hope I hope my notes are like in the same order.
I know. I'll just give you an answer. How about that? I'll just give you an answer, and then you can find out which question it applies to.
And then I piece it together later. It will look natural. Don't worry.
And whoever watches it, then maybe you can give your viewers a prize or something if they get it right.
Oh, that's a good idea.
There you go.
Yeah. Something else. No dramatic music. No, just watching a podcast or something. No, you have to solve the quiz.
Solve the quiz. You thought it was about information, but actually you're doing it. You are you. This is about you, not us.
This is a real coaching session. Anyway, thanks for making time, Antony, outside our usual meetings.
Yes.
So I just have a few questions for you. And the goal really is to inspire, and I don't know, let's just go.
Let's go inspire some people.
Yes, exactly. I wanted to like inspire, empower, educate, but that's quite cheesy.
You're asking quite a lot from me. Inspire, empower, and educate people.
Should I tell people that you asked for blood, human or animal?
Hey, that was before the interview. You're not allowed to speak that in. Cut.
I'll cut that out. Anyway, let's get started.
Okay, bye.
Antony, how would you define your role?
What I do for a living. I am a coach and I help. I'm going to give you my elevator pitch, right? So we're in an elevator. This never happened. So I've got a chance to actually go public with this. Finally. It's just so emotional for me. I help business executives and business owners that are just on this hamster wheel of life and super stressed. And I help them get off that wheel and replace it with balance and control, just to get their lives back, basically. That is what I do in a nutshell. And if you're a 10-year-old watching this, because my son asked me the same question, I just said, I help people feel better. That's it.
That's super simple, super straightforward.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what you should use for your elevation.
Yeah, forget all the other stuff. I just help people feel better.
Yeah. Awesome. And how would you describe yourself?
How would I describe myself? Now I'm serious when I have to be, but I take life with a pinch of salt, not try to be so heavy about stuff. It's not because stuff isn't heavy, but for me, it just works way better when I just chill out a bit. What's the issue? Because I've been on the other side. I've had a burnout. I've been broke, been in trouble. I had about 13 jobs in 15 years because I was just a rolling stone. I wasn't happy, trying to take life. I was just too serious in life. And then I woke up one day, I thought, I don't want to live like this anymore. So that's how I would describe myself. That's more like my behavior, but that's, I think, what you're asking me. Not sure. Maybe I answered your question, did I?
I don't know, but you practiced your lines very well.
Oh,
Yay!
Yeah.
So you just mentioned that you were
Next question. You've got me in. I want to know that next question.
Yes. So the next question is really related to what you just shared, that you had so many different jobs in 15 years or so. And why do you think that was? What were you looking for?
What was I looking for? I think I found what I was looking for, but I wasn't, I suppose, brave enough to take it. See, I had my ladder on the wrong wall. I had it up a corporate wall. And so I was working in banks. I was in banking and finance, and I really wanted to be a sportsman, a footballer. Now, that's clearly on the wrong wall. But I couldn't stop the world and say, stop rotating. I have to sort my life out. And so I just went from job to job because I needed to pay for the bills. I didn't need to pay the bills, right? So what I was really looking for was something that would satisfy me. And I always liked the idea of coaching, but I had no idea how to do it. I didn't know any coaches, whether that be personal training or mental coaching, which I did both at the same time. And so I just kept doing these jobs because it paid for the bills. And I didn't know how to get out of it. And that was the problem. I was looking for how instead of focusing on why I wanted to do it. So I had this 5-word, 3-letter, each word has 3 letters in it that I just keep over and over. Ask not how, but why. I think that's every word, 3 letters, but that's what resonates with me. And when I decided why I wanted to do what I wanted to do, then things changed. Then the path became open for me.
Super interesting. So what was your why and how did you get to discover it?
Why? My why? This is what happened. I'd been studying personal development for ages, since I was a teenager. And along my path, I came across some exercise where I had to split a page into quadrants. And in each quadrant, it was like I had to put bullet points under a title. One quadrant was my skills, one was my interests, another one was what other people said that I was good at, and another one was what did I instinctively feel that I should be doing. And in all of those quadrants, there was just one thing, and that was a mental and physical coach. It just kept popping out, and it was like, this is what you should be doing. How? I don't know. But at some point, it just became clear what my why was. I, for some reason, love to hear other people's stories. I love to find out where they're from, and what their story is, and why they're doing what they're doing, and how they want to get to where they want to get to, and what their problems are, and what they've overcome. Because I know my story. I'm kind of bored of hearing my story. I want to hear people's stories. And it's fun helping people get from, where they are to where they want to be, to bridge that gap.
And what challenge would you say did you encounter along the way? Like, it sounds like it was always somehow clear, it was jumping at you, that was your role. But for some reason, you spent 15 years job hopping, basically, in an industry that wasn't yours. Yeah. So what was the challenge there?
The challenge in
they're not making that change, and taking up the role that was really for you.
I think I was scared, getting over my fear. What if it doesn't work? No one else is doing this. You went to university, you've got this Cambridge degree, and you wanted to be a footballer, and now you want to be a coach. I mean, were you dropped on your head at birth? What would other people say?
Okay.
All this stuff.
Yes.
And then, you just get tired of listening to that. It just becomes tiring and boring. And then what I love to do now is that voice is still there, right? By the way, all right, It didn't just disappear. I just kind of put him in the back seat and just have him natter away while I'm going on my journey. And that's fun. That's a fun journey, because as you take action and do what it is that you want to do, I found that voice becomes quieter and quieter, and just kind of rumbling like, you don't get that much anymore. It's really
grumpy now.
Yeah, it's grumpy. It's looking for something else. Give me some more food. You're kind of starving it until sometimes it actually does disappear. But mostly it's just there in the background. You're like, okay, that's for the new challenge, of course. And that's fun.
And how did you get this voice to be in the backseat? Because I can imagine that many of those watching this.
You're in the backseat now. Not in the front. You're a backseat driver. It was not a question. It was like, there. I want to be in the front. No, you're in the backseat now. It's just a decision. You just make a choice, right? Am I going to allow this thing to stop me where I'm getting? Somebody gave me an idea, and it was to create a CV. I think I was having a coaching session, and the idea spawned from the coaching session. It was to create a CV for that voice in the back of your head. I looked at the track record. You said do this. You said play safe and be small. Let's look at what happened when you played safe and be small. Okay, homeless. Okay, broke. Okay, in debt. Okay, not happy. You haven't got much of a record, have you? Right. So you can be chatting there, but we're going over here now. That's really what happened.
And that was that moment where you said, as you said earlier, like there was this moment in your life where you said, I don't want to live like this anymore. Yeah.
I mean, it's not like a moment and then there's no challenge ever again. There's always something that you want to overcome, but it's more, it's so cliched. It's more about embracing it. You have to embrace it. Right. So that's what I did. I embraced the challenge, embraced the voice. It's actually not an enemy anymore. It tells me actually where I am with the subject in front of me. All right. Yeah. So let's say when I started, and I still don't really like to do it. When I started to transfer from being face-to-face with people with coaching to being online because of this pandemic. I don't know if you heard of a pandemic going around, but there was something, and
there's something going on, yeah.
And then I had to pick up the phone and start to call people. And beforehand, where I was working, there was footfall. So people would kind of see me coaching. Wouldn't like being in an open room and people could hear personal conversations, but they would be aware of me because of my location. And so I was kind of advertising myself just by being present, physically present in that environment there. But now, now it's all online. And so I had to get over this new challenge of, I've got to call people. And I had this voice saying, they're just going to say, you haven't spoken to me forever. How are you going to get them to be your client? They just know that you want to put your hand in their pocket, all this stuff going on, you know? And that's been a fascinating journey as well, because again, listen to the voice. What are you going to say? Look at the track record. And then the track record is hilarious, you know, because 90% of the calls were fun. And I've actually created a lot more friends that I didn't have before, and have rekindled friendships that I didn't have before. So in a way, it had nothing to do with business. Now I have this beautiful network of people that I've, you know, come across my path in the last 10, 20, even 30 years that I didn't have before. Wonderful stuff happens when you just ignore that voice in the background that says, stay safe, stay small. It's BS.
If I were watching this right now, I would say this is inspiring and educating and empowering. So really? We are getting there. We are getting there.
Yes, I'm happy. Keep going. What's next? I want to answer another question.
Yes, I have another question for you. So if someone is watching this and saying, yeah, Antony, of course, you know, of course, you just make the decision. That's rubbish. It's not that easy. What advice would you give them for their first step into like changing their life around, or, you know, doing something about what they are maybe not happy about?
I would say you're screwed, actually. Got no chance. No, shame.
Okay, let's cut it there then.
That's it.
No, Antony, that's not inspiring.
So,
you're going the wrong direction.
Come back.
Yeah.
I think what is really important to know is that this feeling is normal. You know, to feel like you're stuck. I've been on in so many seminars, seminar junkie, ex-seminar junkie, right? You get pumped up, you hear this person did this, and it's like, wow. And it seems like everybody is succeeding at whatever the endeavor is. But I think the truth is a lot of people, they leave the seminar or leave the program, they go home and it's just them and their desk and a telephone or whatever. And it's really horrible. It's really uncomfortable. And you can look at what was going on back in that lovely bubble when you were around lots of people that were really eager, but you've got to face this thing. And the thing is, the reason the problem is there is because it hasn't been addressed in the past. And adversity is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. So to embrace the adversity is what we need to do. This is going to feel uncomfortable. I felt really uncomfortable. You have seen me, Sabrina, really uncomfortable, right? And it's not nice. But look at it on the other side now. You know, wow, I needed that. I couldn't get to where I am today. I couldn't get to where I am today without that big hill. You know, let's have another cliched analogy.
We love those.
We love cliched analogies. So let's imagine you want to be a bodybuilder or something, and you don't want to go through the hard work, all right? You can't just think your muscles into growing. You actually have to put in the work, right? So it's about enjoying, it's a bit sadistic in a way, it's about enjoying the pain, right? But it doesn't become pain. It becomes something that you enjoy. So let's take it back to a business context. Let's say you want to be a coach or whatever it is you want to be, and there's some big obstacle that is preventing you, or you think it's preventing you. Understand that it's normal. It's really, really normal. And most people that I've come across, just in the street, not necessarily coaches or whatever, they're too scared to take that step. So I made the decision, and I encourage you to make the decision, if you're watching this, to say, I will do what others won't do. And that will fill you with a sense of pride, because it does take guts. It's not easy to put your hand in the fire and pull out that sword. Is that even but it can be now, all right? It does take guts to do this. It's not easy. But on the other side, it's just wonderful to look back at what you've accomplished. And that's it. So it's normal. What would happen if you did do it? And what would happen if you didn't? Well, if you didn't, you know already, it's just more of the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you did, well, there's nothing to lose. So you might as well just try it. So you pick up the phone and then the people say, who are you? I don't want you. And then slam. It's not going to be perfect straight away, right? But if you practice it, you get better, just like learning to tie your shoelaces.
Mm-hmm.
So go get some shoes with some laces, tie them up, and remember when you couldn't do it, and remember you can now. It's not that tricky.
I remember you told me one day, you just go do it, and after that you can tie yourself into a yoga knot or something. That has stuck with me. So every time I remember that, I'm like, yeah, just go do it, Sabrina. And after that, you can become a yoga knot and you feel great.
Exactly. But there was at some point when you couldn't tie yourself into a knot and you were trying desperately to get there.
Exactly. But now I can do it. So just, the pain has gone and I actually can tie myself into that knot. So it feels just, as you said, like you are very proud of yourself. And it's not easy every day, but you just keep going once you have started.
And it helped also for me to realize that it's normal to feel like that. I felt abnormal because all of the success stories, but it's normal to feel really awkward about getting over the obstacle that you don't want to face. The difference is, it's not that you have to get over, it's not that you need more confidence or you need to get over your fear. You just have to take some action towards dealing with it, and that will diminish the fear and that voice. You don't have to get over the confidence. I used to think, oh, once I'm confident, I can do this other thing. It's nonsense. Yeah. Just do the other thing, then the confidence comes with it.
Yeah. Always be in action. I don't know where I got that from.
Oh yeah, always be in action. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
In action. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Antony. I'm already done because this is 3 candid questions. So it's not a long interview. It's not a monologue. It's just 3. Here
that
to...
was more than 3. 7.
But thank you so much for your time.
It's a pleasure, really was.
And for your inspiring, empowering, and educating words.
Thank you. It's really nice to cliche give something back. It's really, really awesome. Oh, I got a better one. Got this from a relative.
Please do this. One more.
To teach is to learn twice. That's it. Yep, I'm done.
Awesome. Wow, that's a perfect ending.
So that was it. Thank you for watching this all through. And I hope you loved as much as we did. We had a lot of fun during this interview. And I also hope that you found some of the golden nuggets that Antony hit in the midst of his stories and his humor. And that you saw what I see, like, that you really, sometimes you take a step at a time and that it's never perfect, but you make that decision that you want to go somewhere and then you go. No matter how long it takes, no matter how much it takes. So be inspired, be on your way. And if you want to learn more about Antony, you can visit his website, shakeoffthestress.com, or find him on LinkedIn, Antony Roget. That's how he is spelled. And also stay tuned for episode 2 of 3 Candid Questions sometime early April, before Easter. I'm going to give you an interview with a real tech wizard, and I'm going to share with you what his take on life, leadership, and also technology is. Stay tuned.